Good afternoon, financial professionals. Abby Fletcher here of E4 Insurance Services, welcoming you to the BREW, Building Relationships Every Week. Thanks for tuning in today. For those of you joining for the first time, we like to start the BREWcast by celebrating today's National Day for October 27th. Today is National American Beer Day. That's right, folks. Today we are encouraged to toast to your favorite American brew. Fun fact, the oldest brewery that exists today was established by David Yuengling in 1829. This brewery not only survived Prohibition, but still remains in the family today. Yuengling hails from Pennsylvania and is offered as commonly as Miller Lite is offered here in the Midwest. Happy National American Beer Day. Cheers to you and your favorite American brew. Today on the BREW, as part of our E4 Advisor Spotlight series, we have Greg Imhoff, who serves as wealth strategist of Exemplar Financial Network. Greg is recognized here at the firm as highly successful in client meetings, and today he'll share how he tailors his questions specific to the clientele. Feel free to use the chat box down below to share your thoughts while Greg is live. I'll be keeping a lookout for your questions and comments. Also, all attendees are in a drawing for a prize, and we'll be announcing the winner shortly. Thanks for tuning in, and without further ado, I'm handing the mic over to our dear friend Rod Crandall, who has worked, closely with Greg for over 2 decades. Rod, welcome. The mic is yours.
Thank you, Abby. Appreciate it. Well, you guys are in for a treat today. I'm a little biased because I have a good friend of mine on the line here, Greg Imhoff. He and I have been friends for over 20 years. We actually started at Northwestern Mutual together. What that really means is we learned a lot about what to do and a lot what not to do. And we certainly learned a lot about how to have effective conversations. I'm very excited to hear what Greg has to say because I know the kind of language that he uses, which is similar to my language. It's really a belief, in my opinion, that it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And relative to insurance, it's not about what insurance is, it's about what insurance does. And if you're going to have success in this area, you're going to have to be prepared to have good, very meaningful conversations. And Greg is going to walk you through a number of conversations or talking points that he uses. Be prepared, get your notepad ready, because you're going to really like this one, and hopefully it will allow you to have 1 or 2 or 3 better conversations, help clients drive revenue, and keep competition outside of your accounts. So with that, I want to turn it over to Greg, and let's welcome him. Greg, you're on.
Thank you. Thanks, Rod. Thanks a lot. And cheers, everybody. I love that I was picked to be on this day. I didn't even know it until now. I was gonna toast anyway. Rod, you're right. You're right on with a lot of that stuff. I've known Rod forever. Amazing guy. And he forgot one thing, though. One thing that we learned at Northwestern was also how to live on very, very little money for long periods of time. So that was another thing. But jokes aside, when I was asked to do this, which I want to thank the whole E4 crew. Special shout out to my 2 almost daily partners, Tiffany and Lucy, who I work with very closely over there, are awesome in supporting, and we got this thing down to a pretty oiled machine to this point. So this is just the beginning. So I mean, I'm excited. I'm pumped. I have a low bar for myself on this. All I wanted to make this was more entertaining than any first quarter of the Bears games so far this year, which shouldn't be hard. So as Rod said, what this was about, when I was thinking, there are many other people. I've watched a lot of brews that are probably better case design agents, advisors than myself, right? Not like I don't spend a lot of time, and this is where Rod's partnership with me comes in huge. However, once in a while, I need to kind of bring myself back to the ground, back to the roots, back to the foundations, the fundamentals of being in this business, right? The exciting parts of this are always the accumulation, the tax-free distribution, and downside protection, spreads, caps, all the product stuff, which is extremely important, and it changes, it's fluid, and that is exciting. However, what I've realized from coming over from a captive environment to a independent is that me continuing to keep that spirit of why I really love talking with clients about life insurance is a lot more than the tool, the instrument, the financial instrument that it is, which is great. So it keeps me in track. I love coaching, helping, mentoring younger people. This may be more impactful. I'm guessing myself for probably some of the newer agents, newer advisors out there, just getting started or, several years in. But what I thought was kind of fun was, I'm always thinking, I'm always coming up with catchphrases and, almost role playing with myself, whether I'm mowing the grass or working out or whatever it is. So when I was asked to do this, I'm like, okay, a lot better people, with the product. What I feel really strong about and confident is in the way that I talk with people about this, the conviction, the passion, conviction that I have for talking about the bad, the ugly, right? Everyone wants to skip to the wealth management, and that's a dime a dozen. I don't think there's that many good advisors that are excellent on both sides of the risk, the offensive and defensive. So I tell that to clients when I'm talking to them. I say that's where I want to focus. So these kind of phrases, comments, if you will, it's almost like a mini role play. It's not going to come off as fluid as a role play, but what I did is kind of put together some different types of, personality profiles, different types of people that you'll run into, different types of objections, right? That's what we're all in the business of. If we hit 300, we're doing really well, but no one, everyone forgets about the 700 that, said no, right? Or left us wondering why, or challenged us where we cared more than they did. So these are things that I've designed. Some of them are just to make me feel better about when someone gives me an objection that, quite frankly, doesn't have, any legs to stand on. Others are extremely, what I've come up with, like they just make light bulbs go on in people's head. They've been really effective in my 22 years of doing this for people to say, aha, I get it now, right? And there's different types of personalities out there. So this is like I say, 20 minutes and 10 or 20 years and 10 minutes was kind of my theme. So I'll get right into it. So this first one, this is a Greg Imhoff original here, but I use this. I'm starting with this. This is the number one thing. I don't have any conversation with clients that I don't bring this in. This is really to paint the vision, right? To be the color commentator out there of the importance of talking, slowing down people's world and talking about life insurance. Okay. So this is, I call it for the objector that doesn't really buy into the analysis or the amount, if you will, right? That, thinks we're trying to just sell them more insurance than they need. So this is what I kind of came up with in an equation. I say, 2 minus 1 is 0. I said, losing one parent almost automatically means that you're going to lose both, because the stress of that spouse, maybe it was a non-working spouse, maybe it was a spouse that even if they were working full time, does not have the earnings potential to keep that lifestyle that household had. Okay. So you think about losing a mom, a dad, the other spouse goes back to work. Maybe there's an income gap. Maybe they're working 2 jobs. Maybe they get a part-time job. How present are they in their kids' lives at that point, right? So these kids just lost a mom or a dad, right? And now they're losing the other one to the financial stresses, and it's just straight up time commitment that the other one's having to pick up to maintain it. So I say 2 minus 1 is 0. Buying life insurance and buying the right amount, okay, makes the math work better, right? We don't replace people. I'm not going to replace a mom or a dad. That's 99% of the devastation for any child going forward is the loss of a parent. But if I had a choice of being growing up without a mom or a dad and being broke, or growing up without a mom and dad and at least being financially secure, I'm gonna take the other one, right? If we could replace a parent, that would be unbelievable. But there's no reason that we can't eliminate the financial stress. So that's my number one go-to. I use that kind of sets the tone. I think kind of paints, like I say, kind of a color commentary of the need, if you will. So the next one is kind of what I came up with, because I started early on working with a lot of pretty financially savvy people. I out of college, worked at the Chicago Options Exchange, as a runner, just getting my feet wet. But I built up a good base and a lot of friends that were. So I started working pretty much with people that were a lot smarter with the investment side than myself, right? So I was pigeonholed, and I was, basically just their life insurance agent, right? Which was a good and bad thing, right? When you're working at Northwestern Mutual, that's the best place to be, essentially, right? Is to have no other other bullets up your sleeve. But I came up with this while I was just thinking about it myself one day. But I said, for the savvy or the financially minded person talking about life insurance is, term life insurance is the most valuable call option ever purchased. Okay. And once it's understood, it's almost always exercised in the money. Okay, so that's gravity. I've gotten a lot of good feedback from these guys on that. They all understand options. Everyone on this call, I'm sure, as an advisor, understands options. You buy an option for 3 months out, and you hope that the price goes whatever direction is going to make you money. Well, there is no better call option, right, than a 20 or 25 or 30-year term policy where you're in the driver's seat, right? As long as you convert that, it's in the money because we're all going to die. Right. So I love this one. I use it all the time. I say, to me, North American life is the golden call option in the insurance world. Right. That's how I position them and this every time. So it doesn't have to be right now, but down the road, buying that option. Right. Build the bridge now. We'll cross it later. Right. So the term conversion, that's what I use for like the savvy financial person. The next one. The skeptic, this one. I said it early on. I could be, pretty sarcastic. None of you really know me except for Rod, but pretty sarcastic. And this is almost kind of one of those things where you got beat down for so many years. You just kind of sometimes want to, just kind of throw something back at people, right? When they give you kind of a BS objection, right? So, sometimes, they're hemming and hawing about getting life insurance, or, I'll just, I'm paying the mortgage off. My wife would be fine. The kids, I said, if your 5-year-old could make the decision for you right now, what would they decide? Right. What type of security, what type of life do you think that they want? Right. They're looking up at you right now saying, please make the right decision, Dad. Please make the right decision. So that one is really just kind of a quick knee-jerk thing. Nothing sophisticated, but these are, like I say, things I thought of over the years. So that's kind of more for the skeptic. My next one is for what I call kind of the macho man. Once again, could be, the skeptic, but, basically the one that thinks, their wife's just going to be fine as is. They don't need that much. They pay off the house, right? That they could move or adjust their lifestyle, or she'd get remarried, right? So sometimes, I find, life can be kind of ugly out there. I've met thousands of people. I've sat in literally hundreds, if not thousands, of kitchen tables at night, dining room tables at night. And it bothers me, but there's straight up some people out there, I think, that just don't love their family as much as you may think. Okay. They don't think about that. So I hate watching those bad life insurance commercials. So I came up with this one where I'm just saying, if you don't love your family that much, just buy the 500,000 of coverage that they say that you need in those life insurance commercials, right? Because you always see a dad throwing a kid up in the air. There's another one running around, and they say, a 42-year-old male could get 500,000, and I get off my couch almost and just start yelling. I'm like, 500,000 is not going to do anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that bothers me. So I like to get in to say, I want your family to have their own formula for determining the amount of life insurance you have. Okay. I'm not going to pick a number from the sky, a round up number, a half, 3/4 of a million. Let's put your own, let's design a custom formula for the way that we determine how much that you guys need, right? Every household's different. So the next one, my role as your advisor, the one that people think they're above it, right? We work with a lot of people that actually, quite frankly, are pretty financially independent. They're doing well. They have a lot of money. Their retirement is on track. So they're like, well, why, right? My kids would get my IRA, my house, yada, yada. So this is more of a confidence builder to let them know. But, life insurance is the greatest, wealth multiplier invented. Okay. Simply the most efficient tool, right, to create wealth at an event that's guaranteed to happen. There's nothing else. Tax-free. It's cash, right? I always say, be the cash, right? You go to a charity golf outing, right? You come up to the hole 3. There's a car and a bag of cash. Raise your hand if you've ever seen one. That's pretty cool. But B, who the hell ever takes the car, right? No one wants the car. They want the cash. So be the cash. So what I say is, I've every millionaire. I've quite frankly have not worked with a billionaire. I just put it on there, but I don't know any of them that don't own as much as life insurance as they can have. And back at Northwestern, they actually tracked and had a lot of Fortune and Forbes and articles, you know, they worked with some impressive amount of 80% of Fortune 100, 500 executives, right? So the people that have the most money own the most. Next one, keep it light and fun. Keep it, I say, you know, if I were to, you know, win a scratch off, okay, today, right? If I buy a scratch off ticket and I win $250,000 or $500, that's going to be a big helping hand, right? For me and my family. But after my 2-day bender, I'm going to go right back to work. Okay. So meaning, yeah, I'm going to party. It's going to be a fun night, maybe 2 nights, but let's face it, it's 2021, you know, 250,000, 500,000 of coverage. I'm going to be right back into doing my daily lifestyle. So once again, focus on that formula for your family. This next one is for the scholar. I call it the scholar, or, you know, kind of ties in with education. But, you know, the number one investment that you could make in yourself that will guarantee to pay off and have a positive impact on you or a charity or someone after you're gone is by owning the right amount of life insurance. Okay. We all have the ability to do it. Not all, I should say, right? The majority of healthy, young people, but, you know, take that power and give it to yourself. Okay. You know, lastly, I want to share with you what I always learned, very strong conviction, is you're not really in this business until you settle a death claim, right? So mine, unfortunately, was my older sister who passed away from leukemia from, you know, onset to death, 6 months, right? So living hell for 6 months, you know, I was, you know, in the business, right? I had, you know, made her buy life insurance, essentially. And, you know, I can't tell you the conversations that we had in her last days and weeks. There were multiple. It wasn't just one, where she literally was empowered by the fact, knowing that she was going to leave her 1-year-old daughter at the time, you know, some financial security, right? I'm in charge financially, guardian of my niece now. And for her, knowing that she can direct to me, she said, if good grades, you know, makes, you know, she can get a car. Okay. College, you know, she has to go to school, right? So she's left me with that gift of being able to provide those things for her. And I remind my niece every day that my mom, you know, her mother is the one that's making these things happen. She just allowing me to enjoy those things. So that's hard to do. If you haven't been in the business a long time, you might not have delivered a death claim, but that's what this business is about, right? The IUL, you know, reverse split mortgage, buy, sell, all these things are awesome. They're needed. They also have a huge impact, but always bring it back home to what impact, what value do you have? You know, I could be put in any town in the United States. I feel like I could be successful in the life insurance business. Okay. Because I know the impact that it has on every single one, right? They don't have to have $1 million or more, right? They just have to, you know, basically have someone slow them down and talk to them about it. Okay. And the value that you strengthen the community by people having the right amount of coverage is amazing. Okay. So it's almost like doing, you know, non-for-profit work while we make money is the way I've always used my career. So, so with that, you know, in the end, I have a comment here, thinking of the leader of Exemplar, Dave Hubbard, who I've learned a lot from even in a short period of time, but he has a saying that he likes that, you know, people respect wisdom, but will always obey pain. Okay. So the wisdom in our business, I think people get lost in, is all the different product knowledge, all the different facets and use and designs of life insurance policies, which is great. People are going to listen. It's important, right? In meetings. But you know what it comes down to it is they're going to obey the pain. Okay. What's the life insurance going to do for them and their family if they die? Okay. So the distribution benefits, great, but they will obey the pain. So I'll say it to everybody, focus on the pain. The pain is what drives our business. We are in the pain relieving business, financial pain, right? Not emotional. We're not going to replace anybody, like I said, but if you have an opportunity to, you know, have a loss, a personal loss and a financial loss, we can at least eliminate one of those for them. So don't let them beat you down out there, and happy selling. Cheers.
I've opened up the line for any questions from the audience, or feel free to use the chat box. Yeah. Also, this Advisor Spotlight has been recorded and will be posted up on our YouTube channel later today. So if you missed any of Greg's analogies, this is being recorded and is also located on our BREWcast blog. Any questions from the audience? I just saw a lot of comments coming into the chat box. So Without further ado, Greg, I'm going to have you choose a number between 1 and 22.
11.
Ooh, good one. 11. Who's the winner? Who's the winner? Andy King, congrats, sir. Be on the lookout for a coffee card and some complimentary CE coming your way from all of us here at E4. Thanks for dialing in. And be sure to tune in next week for the Brew. We'll have E4's very own Shane Van Patten kicking off Long-Term Care Awareness Month. And he'll have a meaningful talk on having comfortable long-term care planning conversations. Thanks for tuning in and have a great day.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks.